Okay, so you ordered some of these fake gemstones off of the internet and you found out you have the wrong color or the color gemstone that you need for your project or a cosplay costume isn't existing. So what do you do now? Well, today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to alter these to make any color you want. And also, as a side note, we had purchased these blue sapphire light stones over here, and I'm going to see what the color range looks like on a colored stone. Are you ready? Let's do this. And for today's demonstration, I'll be teaching two techniques. The first one, we're going to be using these products here. You're going to be needing some gemstones. You'll also be needing a mixing dish, a soft brush, some permanent magic markers, any color that you desire your stone to be, some white glue, an assorted pack of 4 food colors, and a bit of spray. I'm using a clear finish right here. If you don't have any clear finish, you can also use clear fingernail polish. They work the same. Alright, let's start changing our gemstones. A very important tip I need to share about making these. If you are using paintbrushes and you use any type of glue, you need to wash your brushes thoroughly because the glue will dry and you'll be throwing your brush away. And you don't want to be throwing away a $10 brush. So wash them very carefully in a lukewarm water and then wash them again in cold water. Run it until the color and glue is completely removed. Okay, so first now let's look at red gemstones. I'm going to be using the marker method first, and I'm using a permanent magic marker because they just seem to write on everything. Now all you need to do is use the marker and completely color your gemstone. Now I'm going to finish that a little bit later. You can actually see what I had just done. I'm changing the color of the gemstone. I'll finish that in a bit. Let's push this one aside. I'm going to do it now here to a colored one, and I'll finish that in a moment here. But let's look at what I really wanted to show you. Here we're going to be mixing up some food coloring, and we want to use our red today, and we're going to be using also some white glue. Squeeze out as much as you can. Okay, I got the white glue here, and now I'm just going to be adding a drop of, 2 drops of our red food coloring. I'm using my soft brush, and we're going to mix this up beautifully here. You can do this for any color you want. We are going to apply this color now to our gemstone. Now once you do this, you need to let this dry, and it will dry 1 shade lighter than what you see. So you may need to apply 2 coats. Let's try it also on our sapphire, and this is going to be different because we already have a color present. Okay, so let's push these little guys out. He's sticking. There we go. Push him, push him, push him. Yep. Pushy, pushy, pushy. Yep. And let's let them dry and see what they look like tomorrow morning. Today's tutorial is going to show you how to mix any color gemstone you desire. We have 3 glops of glue, white glue out here, and we're going to use the primary colors. The first color we're using today is a red food coloring. The second color we're using is a yellow, and the third one is blue. And once you create these 3 colors mixed in with the glue, you have the primary colors for gemstones. And I'm going to show you now how to make other colors using these primary colors. Now I'm going to take away the food coloring, because we already know what that is, and I have 3 different brushes here. I'm using 2 drops of red in our red, 2 drops of yellow in our yellow, and 2 drops of blue in our blue. Okay, now let's start mixing the colors. Okay, there. When we have our red, we can create gemstones like rubies and garnets once we learn how to darken them. By mixing the yellow, we can have gemstones that are yellow colored, citrine. And our third color is the blue. Now, once you have these 3 principal colors mixed, now you can blend them together to make any other color. So let's now make an orange gemstone color. What I'm doing now is I'm mixing some of our red with some of our yellow, blend them together. Okay. Now to create a green gemstone, you would mix your blue and your yellow together. Or you can use the green food coloring. Now this creates a very, very dark, rich green, which might make a very good emerald color. Now to make amethyst, we're going to mix our red and our blue together to create a little bit more there. This really beautiful amethyst violet color. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a gemstone for each, and I'm going to color them, and I'm going to show you what they're going to look like. So let's start off with the red. It takes a moment to paint them. You may need a pair of tweezers also to hold the stone in place while you paint it. Once the stone is completely painted on all sides, okay, let it dry for 24 hours. Now I'm going to do it to the other 5 colors and show you tomorrow. Let's sample this green too while we have a chance. I know there's going to be someone out there in the audience asking, so how do you make turquoise colored gemstones like that show up in tourmaline? It's very easy. You're going to be mixing the blue and the green together, and I'm just using 1 dot of our blue and 1 dot. There's always some dust there in your green. They look like it's just 2 black dots, but when you mix it together, it makes a really, really wonderful, beautiful turquoise color. And since now that I had burned through all of my gemstones, I'm going to be using one of our small gemstones, painting this up. We'll see what this color looks like tomorrow. And I'm also going to do a plastic sample, plastic strip of this, so you can see what the color looks like if it was applied. I'm going to show you this technique here. I'm applying now the color that we had mixed up of our turquoise, and I'm applying it now to a plastic sheet. Now if you wanted to pre-test any of your colors to see what they're going to look like before you apply them to your gemstones, this is how you would do it. Make up a test sheet. Okay, application is there. Right? Apply smoothly and let dry. There's two different techniques to darkening gemstones. The first one is using our food coloring system and then applying another coat and another coat and another coat and another coat until you find the exact color that you want in darkness on your stone. Or you can actually use 2 permanent magic markers and they will darken quite effectively. So let's now make another red gemstone with this first permanent magic marker in red, and then we'll do a second overcoat with the black. So our first thing is to apply our permanent magic marker of choice. Now, once you got the gemstone created to the color that you want, let it dry thoroughly. Okay, I'm going to let that dry for a moment. Now, I'm going to be using the black permanent magic marker, and I'm going to be going over this. What you will see is it still retains its red color, but the black now intensifies it. So you would take a ruby color and now you're changing it into a garnet. All you need to do is just scratch some lines over the color that you had just applied. Just scratch lines. There's going to be lines in there, but for a cosplay or maybe a project you're working on, the lines basically are not going to show. It's going to just be color that's important. And here is now our garnet colored stone. So we took it from a ruby to a garnet. Now here is the fruit of our labor, the complete collection. Here is the original gemstone that we had used unpainted. So let's go up here to the upper left hand corner. The first one was the one we had painted with the glue and the food coloring and the smaller sapphire below it. This is the one that we had used the permanent magic marker on, and also the sapphire. Now you can look, there's a slightly different shade. It's a little bit darker now. That looks like a ruby to me. Here, look at our beautiful orange one that was done up with the marker and also the sapphire. And here is the permanent magic marker light blue that was in our collection. The stone down here is a double layered one that we had done with the red with a black overlay, which was like a garnet. The solid black permanent magic marker completely covered this to make it look like it's onyx. In the center, our ring that we had done, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple, through our mixing of different colors, this is how they turned out. To the right hand side over here, a darker green that we had painted with the sapphire and the green marker as comparison for emeralds. And in the upper right hand corner, 2 very special stones I like to mention. This one here was also done with a permanent magic marker. It came out brown and I love it. And it looks like a colored topaz, and also the purple permanent magic marker. Reminds me of a very, very deep amethyst. And our little friend over here, which I also made up a color sample for, the turquoise, the tourmaline gemstone. And there you have it, the complete collection of gemstones for our creation.